David, you're writing this from a young girl's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you a long time, and I still think you're an adult male.
Yeah, very much.
How did you get into the mindset?
Okay, I think two things. One, well, primarily, I don't have brothers, but I do have sisters.
And you have a daughter.
Two sisters, and I do have a daughter. And so, and these are all strong women. And so it was clear to me always that women are equally capable as men, just as intelligent. And
sure.
That was obvious. Nobody had to tell me that. And then the other thing is that I firmly believe that as men and women we're much more alike than we are different.
Mm.
You know, that said, vive la différence, but we are first and foremost human, and we share so much emotionally and intellectually.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always impressed more by how people are alike than how they are different.
Mm. But, you know, men do think differently than women on some things, particularly on emotional things.
Probably so. I don't know. Well, not probably so. Definitely so.
Yeah.
I think that is more something that we're taught than is natural, because the society does not like men who show their emotions.
Mm.
But I grew up in Argentina, where it's a little bit different. There's some of the same thing, but men, it's quite normal for men to gush over babies in public,
Mm-hmm.
babies they don't know,
Yeah.
small children, and to express emotion and to express affection. It comes a lot more naturally down there. Still, you're always taught, men don't cry.
Mm. Sadly.
I think a lot of it has to do with how we are taught.
Mm.
Now, that's not to say, obviously, there are things that women experience that men don't, and vice versa. But primarily, in the childbearing and all that sort of thing, there's a difference not only physically, but in the hormones that go through you. Sure. And all that. And,
sure. Yeah.
And there's a feeling of mothers for their daughters that's very special, and for their sons. Mm. And men feel differently, I think. And that's why I think ideally that children should have a mother and father if at all possible.
Sure. Sure. But, I mean, I would imagine that you, having grown up in Argentina and with the strong sisters and your wife and your daughter, that would well inform you.
Yes, that's where all this comes from.
Yeah.
And, but the interesting thing is there's another side of things, in that you plan where you're going with the story. Mm-hmm. You outline parts of it. You set up a scene. You start writing, and the characters sometimes take over. That's when you're really in the zone. Uh-huh. And then you get through a scene, and you say, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the of writing. Terry Pratchett said writing is the most fun you can have by yourself.
I believe that. Now, is this your second book?
This is my second book. The first was in Spanish, and it was a collection of my own short stories.
Okay. Okay.
And I wrote them in Spanish because that comes out of, well, where I grew up.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. You're fluent. Yeah. And this is the first of 3?
This is the first of 3.
Wow. Okay.
The second one will be called, obviously, Angela 2, but it's The Guardian of the Bay. Mm-hmm. And if you think of Corpus Christi, if you know it, you can already start thinking what that refers to. And the last one is going to be Silver Path of the Moon.
Okay.
It's a recurring image in the Angela books and in some of my stories.
So when did you start writing?
I've always written from high school on stuff. It wasn't very good.
Well, you have to have some place to go, Dave.
Well, I had been reading a particular writer called Alejandro Dolina from Argentina in the middle 90s. And in 1997, all of a sudden, this first story came to me. And so I wrote it. And I said, I can do this. And I had some things that I wanted to write. And then my son came telling about a friend of his, a girl, who everybody thought was really spacey and not too smart, but she actually has an IQ of over 140. It's just that she thinks differently.
Sure.
And he said, you know what she said? She went by a mirror. She said, oh, goodness. For a moment, I thought there were 2 of me. And that gave me a story. And then I had a weird dream that gave me a 3rd story, and then I was off and running. Yeah. And it's been that way ever since. That was 1997, the first one.
Okay. Okay. So did you take classes to learn the craft of storytelling?
No.
No? Just sat down and did it?
Just sat down and did it. I've been looking through some of my letters from Texas Tech back home, you know, when I was in college, and the writer-ness was always there, and telling little stories about what I did. Mm-hmm. It comes from reading. Mm-hmm. I think all writers are readers. Mm-hmm. Not all readers are writers, but it comes out of what you read a whole lot. Mm. And then you're influenced by people. I found out that I was influenced a lot in my stories by H.G. Wells, the young H.G. Wells, but I had not read him till I wrote my stories. They came indirectly through other writers.
Ah. So what challenges you most as a writer?
To have time to get down on paper what I have in my head. Yeah. And get it published.
And do you have a kind of work day for writing, or?
No, my work day is teaching Spanish at TCU.
Right.
And I teach 4 classes every semester. So I stay busy. So I do this in summers when I'm not teaching, breaks, and sometimes at night. Mm-hmm. And I have a backup of projects. However, my second Angela book is written already.
Ah, excellent.
And the 3rd one is planned out. So.
You just got to wait till spring break or summer, right?
Yeah.
To get it going.
Yeah.
Okay. So what inspires you as a writer?
Oh, goodness. a lot of times it's reading, especially reading Jorge Luis Borges of Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Other things that I read, people and the things that they say and that they do. Agatha Christie said that she'd pick up characters by writing on the bus. And she would look at people and she would invent what their personality is like and some kind of life story, and then that would go into the characters.
Uh-huh.
And I ride the bus to work now and back. I don't have a car. My wife has the one car, and I ride the bus to work. And I'm already getting ideas.
So you're a people watcher.
People watch her a lot, and then also philosophy and what is happening in the world.
Mm.
The fact that the modern age came to an end with World War I, and the writers, especially people like James Joyce and William Faulkner saw this, and most writers in different ways express the loneliness that we have with a lack of shared values. Mm-hmm. And since our worldview has been shattered, we have no common way of thinking. Mm-hmm. And that's what they talk about, if they really know what they're saying when they talk about postmodern. Mm. And Angela is a person for these times, a person who has to be informed by the past and who strategizes and who has this love, this charity, and is always learning. She's always getting informed.
Mm. Okay. Now,